Pursuing a successful career and being financially independent. This is how you imagined your life in Germany. Unfortunately, in reality, it looks different. You seem to be stuck in your position, and even though you're making good money, investing it smartly feels overwhelming, especially considering the complicated financial system. Don't worry, we at Frau Future are here to support you. Our mission? Helping you to reach either your financial goals or your career goals, or both. In workshops, online courses, or our coaching, we will show you how to create your personal financial master plan and take your career to the next level. That way, we helped hundreds of women from more than 35 countries. If you also want to make your dreams a reality, get in touch with us through the contact form on our website.
Welcome everyone who made it today. So we're gonna talk about FIRE, Start Saving for Early Retirement, and it's basically the financial independence, retire early. And it's a lifestyle, and it's actually at the moment really a big trend in Germany, or actually at least it's really hyped in Berlin. I don't know, everybody's talking about that. There are also like WhatsApp groups and stuff like this building up. So everybody's like really into it. And we thought we'll just take this topic as well because it aligns a little bit on where we are working on. And so, hold on a minute, click. I just realized that my buttons don't work. And what is that all about? Well, there are different ways of actually saving up money in a cool way. I don't know how you can call that. Here you can see the 4 ways of doing that, how to achieve that, and we're gonna talk you through. And we are Verena and Yvonne, for anybody who doesn't know us. We are Frau Future, basically. Do we actually introduce ourselves a little bit at this point, or we're just like gonna go and talk about that later?
What is the next slide?
The next slide is just going on with the challenges.
All right, then let's introduce us, please.
Yes, do you want to quickly say something about you?
Yes, so I'm Verena, I'm the financial expert in the team, and I've been working in the industry for 8 years now. I am licensed for both insurance and bank products. To all of you who've been in Germany for some time now, so it's basically in Germany when you want to invest money, it's either with a bank or with an insurance company or one of those investment apps that's also kind of like on the bank side. So yeah, you have those 2 institutions to choose from. So I know both worlds, and I can advise which is the best way basically to do that in your personal situation.
Okay.
You want to keep it sweet and short.
Exactly,
and sweet, right?
exactly.
So, yeah.
And I'm the other half of Frau Future, and I'm focusing more on the career part of women. I'm licensed as well for coaching and career coaching in particular. I have 20 years of experience in the worldwide industry across the globe. And I help basically women, have a voice, be visible, and of course gain, with that also more income. And in that case, of course, it is a bridge to Verena again, that with more income, you can also save more money, and then you can actually go more financially free into your retirement. Yep. So we are a startup, by the way, if anybody wonders. We started in 2019 with this great idea that we want to support women, right? Because women have financial challenges more than actually men. In this case, for example, if I put here my little thingy away, you can see men in average earn more than women, and no matter what they do or how they do it, they always get more salary than us. So of course, in the end of the day, when that happens, we also put in lower contributions to our statutory pension. At least in Germany we have that. So in general, you have just less money then to put aside. And also there are more career breaks for women. Now my picture goes here. Teeps. Doesn't really
No one sees that, actually.
Nobody, really?
Okay.
No, that's just me.
So but we don't work in tech.
Okay. As you can see, I'm just sliding here around with my Zoom thingy. Career breaks, of course, because, as a woman, you give birth, of course, naturally. Mostly, the women also take care of the children. Very often, also, if somebody is sick in your bigger family, it's again the women who step out and take care of that. So, in the end of the day, we earn less money, and of course we also over a lifetime have less savings. And where did my clicker go? There. Yes. And according to general knowledge, you all know that we live longer. In general, we live longer. We lived longer before, when there was great healthcare, and now we, even with great healthcare and all medications, whatever is possible, we live longer. So of course then we also need more money, which is a little bit then difficult to have if you don't earn enough. And this is actually a fact here just from 2021. In the UK, for example, 1 in 5 female pensioners are living below the breadline. And this is pretty alarming. And it's also very alarming that everybody is aware of it, but hardly anyone does anything about it. Here in a nutshell are the facts, basically. Women tend to save less for retirement because they have more career breaks, part-time work, lower average wages. And this again is the significant retirement saving gap that we have in the end of the day. And nobody talks about that. We all say, yeah, okay, you have less savings, but what's with the woman? That is a big blind spot by governments and a lot of people, because you don't want to really face reality. And an average man, of course, they save more up, mostly 20 to 30% more than women, because of course they just continuously work. And when you work and have a career, you constantly grow and accumulate wealth, because you get more salary and higher positions and whatsoever. And with that, of course, then you have that retirement saving gap that I'm constantly mentioning right now, which is about 30% that is missing for women in comparison to men. And here's something, for example, is pretty fresh. It's from 2024, where you can see on the orange side the women and on the blue side the men, about their pension that they are receiving in the end of the day. And you can see in the middle here, there are a number, 600 it starts, and it goes up to 2,400. This is the monthly euro pension retirement money that you get. And here in the lower part, 600 to 1,200, it's majority women. Now, if you imagine like an apartment already, rent in regular cost around 1,000 euros. So what is there left? You still have to pay for your insurance, like health insurance, and other stuff. So there's basically nothing left anymore for women if they don't have anything saved or left or put aside. So we always like to say, act now. Don't think about it too long. Act really now. Because the earlier start, the more you can actually, make in terms of compound interest rate. Which is Verena's part. Why not you?
Right. The compound interest is really, it's actually very easy. You get money on the money that you invested before. Okay. So you have, like, when we start on the very left side here in this graph, and then we have like the darker purple square, which resembles your own payments, and then the lighter purple square, this is the interest or the profits that you gained on your investments in the first year. And then in the second year, you can see that the darker purple square, it grows like in an even way, because you always pay in the same amount. Let's assume you do that. But the lighter purple square, it gets bigger in comparison. And this is because you don't only get profit on the money that you paid in, but also on the profit that you already had in the pot. And that includes the profit of the first year. And you can see, if you play that game for a couple of years, of decades, then in the end, the majority of your money in the pot is actually gain. So money that you never paid in yourself, but still have it in your pot. And this is the compound interest. And here, really, the earlier you start and the more years you have for this game to play, the more money will be in there in the end. So for example, when I calculate those investments for children, like babies that were just born and they have like 66, 67 years until retirement, they basically pay in 10,000 euros themselves. And in the end, they have 600,000 euros in there or something. And this is because, if you invested in a good way and you have like an okay profit, so we're not talking like 20% average profit or something, not very realistic. We're talking 8-9% average profit per year. You make that much money because you have decades of compound interest or compound profit. in this sense. And this is another thing that is very important for that. And also another reason why women tend to have less money, because we like to play it safe. So even if we have a lot of money to put aside, we like to just put it on our bank account because we don't really know what to do with it, because we're lacking the knowledge to know that the stock market is actually quite safe when you play this long term. And here you can see that this highlighted example, for example, this means that someone invested in the year, oh no, I have to check it myself, 1990, I guess. And yeah, they invested in 1990 and they sold 20 years later. So in 2010. And they only invested in the German market, by the way. So very small market compared to the whole world. But they still made an average profit per year of 6.8%. And this is a lot of money if you have this for 20, 30, 40 years, right? And you can also see in this graph that the longer you have this investment, the safer it gets. So when we check it, like when we invest short term, so only 1 year or 2 years, then it's very much possible that you lose all your money, or at least half of it, So all the red squares there, this is years where you lost money. So if you only invested for 1 year. But even if you have, you have all those years in between, but the longer you stay in, the safer it gets. So even if you invest in a time where there's a big crash in the market, when you keep your nerves, right, and you don't cash out at that point, but you stay invested and you wait for the markets to recover, then you go out with a profit at some point again. And this point in the past has been 15 years. So if you have 15 years of time, then you can easily invest in the stock market, because there was never a negative outcome in history if you had 15 years of holding period. And this is what this graph shows. Yeah, and it makes a big difference. The earlier you start, the more you have in the pot. So this is a calculator from the internet. We calculated 150 euros invested a month for here. So you start at 25 or 35. So you either have 35 or 25 years of investment period. Because in this example, the person wants to cash out when they're 60. So 150 years invested for either 35 or 25 years. You can see the difference on the left side. So when you start with 25, at age 25 already, in the end, you have basically 300,000 euros in there. And this is already after taxes, by the way. And if you start 10 years later, you have 125,000, let's say, right? Also after taxes. So it's basically cut in half. So even more drastically. So, yeah, and it's not because of course you paid in a bit less yourself when you're missing those 10 years, but that's not the difference. That's not 180,000 euros. So, yeah, the earlier, the better.
So, okay, then let's start maybe with the lean fire. Or not maybe, I'll start with the lean fire. This is the most frugal one. So here you really live a simple life. And in this case, also you live a simple life before, because all the money that you put in, of course, you want to put in that savings account. So you actually can achieve really fast the target money, or the target amount that you want to have, because you live really minimalistic. Of course, you have then also a lower annual spending, and you can be highly focused on your strategy, how you want to invest, and how you can make the most of the highest savings. And then, of course, you can also see like where in Europe maybe you can have like diverse cost of living options, we say, because living, for example, in a big city in Berlin might be very much more expensive than living in a smaller city, let's say in Portugal, something like this. So you can actually see where can you actually then balance out the amount of money that you are spending and that you also are saving. Of course, the con in that area is then, of course, you have less budget flexibility, and you may feel a little bit restricted because there can be some unexpected expenses that come in when you are living in high cost regions. So this lean fire strategy is really for somebody who can live with the bare minimum, I would say, like you're that toast and butter type of person. and you like to go on a bike everywhere, and maybe when you go on holidays, it's rather the camping type of thing that you're looking for, then lean could really be an option that you can choose for saving up as much as you can. And on the other hand, we, for example, have Fat Fire, which is the complete opposite. Here, it's really about like investing and saving a lot of money because you want to have a high luxury life also later in retirement. This is more like for people that really already earn a good living. I'd say that is kind of like senior level or manager jobs, you know. You have lots of money that you can actually put aside to like nurture that luxurious lifestyle in retirement. And of course you want to like really then focus also on stuff, or maybe your focus is then in retirement that you want to do like the big traveling and dining. You have lots of hobbies. You don't want to just sit at home and watch telly. You like other nice luxuries, like maybe going to a manicure and to a spa and stuff like this. So this is fat is really like you want to also save around, normally typically is around 2 million and more euros, because that will give you definitely a very comfortable life. Of course, you can also get that with a private saving plan, but that is mostly done when you're, for example, a mom and you want to put that into your child's saving account when you start already super early. I'd say like at, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years old, more or less.
At least to get there with a lower amount.
Yeah, with a lower amount, of course. You probably have then already to put in like 100, I would say, or 150. Then you can maybe achieve that. And then, yes, of course, Pro, as I already said, significant freedom. This is like the luxury lifestyle. You want to really be cool and stuff. And you're also more flexible against unexpected costs, because that portfolio that you have built up is really stable, and it's full of the positive energy, as I like to call the money. And to achieve Fat Fire, of course, you have to have a good income. This doesn't work out when you're just like, I don't know, living on a maybe 3,000 brut salary. That's a bit difficult. So you need at least to have the double or triple of that to get it. And also be disciplined in your saving. Now, don't go just emotional, oh, today I have a bad day and I'm going to buy a car, something like this. This is not going to work with this one, because you really want to challenge yourself to retire young. And that's why you need to extensively put the money in there. But of course, then it's all sparkle and glitter, and you don't have to downsize your lifestyle. Because there you can see, no? The earlier you start, the greater your financial freedom can be. And if it's like sitting at the pool and doing just some stuff, maybe have a little part-time job, or just traveling the world and just chilling and having a good time.
By the way, just to chime in really quick, for Lean Fire, not Fat Fire, but Lean Fire, you don't need 2 million in order to retire comfortably. Like 300,000 to 700,000 is usually enough. Of course, then you don't have so much monthly income, but you can continue the frugal lifestyle that you had before and not work. So
yep.
Just to give you orientation.
Exactly. That was your magic wand.
Right.
So why should you choose for Future for your financial journey? Because actually we are women, we understand women. We're not like that aggressive, how do you say, suit and tie person. So we really understand the challenges that women, I say, face, and the obstacles that they sometimes run into. And we can really craft personalized retirement plans. Normally, I think, Verena, you spend like, I don't know, I would say in total probably 10 to 12 hours with one person, right?
So it's like 3 to 4 with a client, but then of course there's a lot of work behind the scenes as well that I do.
Yeah. Because we look at everything together, right? How does it fit into your lifestyle? What's your long-term goals? Where is your career maybe interrupted? Is it maybe with the birth of a child? And how do you want to create that sustainable retirement plan with sustainable like pay-ins, and not just go up and down and right and left, and then in the end of the day you're not happy with that, you maybe break the whole plan down, stuff like this. We don't do that. We really look at the total picture of where you are, where you want to go, and what are your steps in between. Oops. Hi, Marta. Marta, you already missed like half of it. I think I'm gonna send out the link anyways. Right? For everyone who wasn't there. So yes. And what Verena already said, like, we are licensed. No? Verena especially more than me, because she went into some really serious Chamber of Commerce classes that really look into ETFs and stuff, right? It's not something simple. A lot of out there women, especially focused, how do you say, competitors, they have studied economics or stuff like this. They have the total knowledge because they read a lot. They know about economy, but they don't know the insides out, which is quite the advantage that we have, because yeah, we can look a little bit behind the scenes what's happening, and we're pretty fast in actually also understanding what has changed in the law with the government or with the insurances, and then immediately bring that to our people, to our clients, foremost, right? The women. And another advantage we have, we're international. So you might come from Africa, let's say from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west. You have completely different needs than somebody that comes maybe from Turkey, or somebody that comes from Italy, and somebody that comes from Germany. So we really like to put the right person in front of you to understand where you're coming from, what are your social cues, your cultural backgrounds, stuff like this. And that's why even Thailand and India, complete different story, even the nuances, how you talk to that culture, in a way. You can say something wrong, like I'm myself half Asian, half Filipina. That doesn't mean that I sometimes also get it wrong, like with my neighboring country, Thailand, for example. So I rather let then Yik do the talking in this case, because she is well known in that part. So not last, in the middle of it all, later is too late. So save now, right? Because why? If you wait, I mean, I waited as well too long until I met Verena. But look at this, and Verena can explain it again. What happens when you wait too long?
Yeah, so before we looked at, okay, what happens if you wait 10 years? 10 years is a quite long period of time. But even if you just wait for 1 year, it will already have a very high impact on your savings. So, like I said before, when you're a child and your parents do it for you, then of course it's the best case scenario. So if your parents start putting money aside for you 2025 rather than 2026, in the end, when you're 60, you have 180,000 euros more in your pocket. And I think we calculated that again with 150 euros, right?
I think 100 or something.
Oh, 100. Okay, 100. And it's always 9% average profit per year, by the way. And but if you're 20, let's just say you weren't that lucky that your parents did it for you. So now you're an adult, you have to be smart yourself. So you're 20 and someone says, hey, it makes sense to put money aside, then please listen. Because here you can also see, if you start at 2025 or 2026, so you're 20 or you're 21, basically. That in the end, that means 48,000 euros more or less, right? And 48,000 euros is a lot of money. Right? And even if you are 35 already and you haven't started yet, then start tomorrow. Because here also you can see, still 13,000 euros more or less in your pot. And we're just talking about 1 year here all the time. So we're talking about 1,200 euros of paid in amount more or less on your side. And that results in 80,000 euros over the decades. So yeah. And why is this 143 encircled? This is because, well, actually we made a comparison investments with a bank or with an insurance company. But it only makes sense if we show the other slide again. And I think that's not happening. So let's skip that part.
Which one? Which one should I go all the way back?
It's like 10 slides before. So.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will say so much. There's a difference, like with those two institutions, and it depends on what you're investing for. So if you're investing only for 10 years or something, to buy a house at some point, that's a different kind of investment than if you're investing for your retirement age, right? So, and different kind of investment means different kind of institution to go for, to make it more profitable for you, right? And we can also, going back to how much difference a couple of years make, you can also do it the other way around, right? So you can also go online again, have one of those calculators and tell the calculator, I'm 30, I want to retire when I'm 60, and I want to have 300,000 euros, for example. So that would be lean fire, right? When you're 60. And then the calculator will tell you how much you need to pay in. And so when you are 30, then it's 162 euros to reach that goal. When you are 40, it's 445. That's a big difference.
Yes, this is something that I learned.
Yeah.
Because I am actually in that 450 euro bracket that I have to put away every month, and that hurts. It doesn't hurt so much if you only put away 160 euros. Only, I say, but it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
So, because actually when I was 30, I also had a retirement insurance, and then I thought, like, at some point, I think after 5 or 6 years, I gave it up. I was like, nah, I'm too young. This is nonsense. Why am I putting away like 150 euros each month? I don't care. Yeah, big mistake. Should have kept it. Learned the hard way. So now you learn it the good way because you're listening and you actually made it to this webinar. So, time is your biggest asset. I think you learned that already, or you understand that now, especially also with the compound interest rate. And especially right now with all the mess that is happening in the US, I think Verena would say it's a good time to go shopping.
Yeah.
Because the stocks are...
We don't know yet. Well, but it might be that it's just going straight up again. Might be that the markets will crash at some point. Not sure. But as soon as the markets crash, go shopping, like share shopping, because then everything is very cheap, right? So you want to have a crash every now and then. But the thing is, we never know when it happens. But when it happens, just be ready.
That's true. I mean, but at the moment, it is actually really sliding down, right? There's a lot of mess going on. So the ones that are really sliding down, look also, I can say, look on apps like what are the experts saying, because if there's a really green button and shop, they mostly are right. So shop. And then for 100 euros, you will get like, I don't know, maybe 5 shares or 10 shares, when later you will get for that maybe just a fraction of a share because the company went up again. So Coast Fire, this is also a nice one. This is, you can aggressively invest so that the compound interest is working for you in later time. So this is really like accumulating a lot early on, and then let the money work by itself, right? So, for example, if you say now 500,000 or 1 million, then you have to, if that is what you want to have as your retirement money, you need to work backwards how much you need to invest so that you have a good compound growth. So basically what Verena can do for you, like, okay, you want that, then let's see, how much do you have to, because let's look at 9%, that is a good middle factor where we can settle, and then she can tell you, okay, that's what you have to build. Maybe, I don't know, if you say you want to just to invest, I don't know, for 25 years. No? Then with 50 on that point, then if you're 25 and it's 50, it'll work on its wealth and grow extensively. You can also take tax advantaged accounts, like in Germany at least, Rürup is really good for that, we discovered, because you can also save some money now while you are putting money aside. And this is something Verena can also explain to you. And then, switch to covering expenses. Once you hit that Coast Fire target, you can work also less. For example, now you work really hard, and then you go like, okay, now it's time for part-time, or now it's maybe time to build my own company or something. And then the investments can grow, you can take a chill time. So the pro is, of course, it gives you flexibility and freedom. As I just said, you can relax on your saving efforts, and you can enjoy now and later, because there is the satisfaction to retirement can be a little bit earlier with the part-time. And there's also a reduced risk of burnout, because with the FAT you really have to power through and put a lot of money in constantly. Here it's like you can be in balance. And yes, it relies on having enough time for the compound rate or the compound growth, basically, the money to grow. That is the con. But also the market is, of course, it crashes up and down. Is it really then that moment, like, imagine now you're 67, you want to all pay it out, it's the wrong time. You actually have to wait maybe 2 years for being okay with what comes out. So this is Coast Fire is ideal for people that want to have financial security and prefer a balanced life now, so that they can focus less on the saving and more on enjoying the work-life flexibility for until they have like into the full retirement. Yes, how can we help with today? Of course, by booking a free consultation. I think at this point, normally you would throw in your link, right, Verena? For the calendar.
Yes,
The
let me
calendar.
do that.
Because if you feel triggered that you really actually would like to have a talk with Verena, this is the best time to do that. Verena is always fully booked. So I think it's only, again, I don't know when, in 2 weeks' time or something. Yes.
No, there is something in between all the time, but you know, like if you want to have a big choice of times, then yeah.
It gets tight. But
the
yeah.
earlier the better. I think it's kind of like the topic of tonight.
Yeah, true. So then Verena can also have a look and review your financial status, and maybe you can have a chat like on clear retirement goals, and then she can go really into that and see like what's the best option. And then after the day, you just say, okay, I'm gonna settle for that amount, and then it goes like, yeah, whatever. Automatically, you can focus on other stuff in your life, and you can also together check regularly how it's going. No, right? So that's why. Click, beep. Common barriers that we have, right? So, I can't afford to save right now. Yeah. I say that all the time too. You know, but it's really easy. I mean, it's just that like I love my coffee, although this is chai tea right now. But it's like that is what I always did all the time. I would go and have a coffee to go. Like, oh yeah, I'm going there for work. I'm doing that right now. I'm gonna go to the next bakery or whatever, to that cool next cafe. And then I spend like €4.50, €5, €6 sometimes for a tumbler of cappuccino with oat milk and sprinkles. I mean, calculate that. Let's say it's €5. That's €25 each week. That is in a month, €100 that I just spend on coffee. That's ridiculous. So actually, I also stopped doing that. I only go maybe once in a while now and do this. And I make my coffee at home. I have a nice tumbler I can just carry around if I want to do that. And in reality, also, you don't need a lot of money to start, right? Early, you can do that with €25. That's the minimum you can start with. And then you can always adjust it whenever, you feel like you want to go up higher or whatever, or put one-time contributions in. Yes, retirement is too far away. Yeah. Okay, I thought the same. You heard what I just said. 160 or 450 each month away. Yeah, great. 450 is actually, if I'm really frugal, it's actually a 2 weeks holiday, all inclusive when it's not holiday time. You can go to, I don't know, Spain, right?
Mm.
Yeah, you can see. Stupid. Verena did it better. She just bought a house. And she's way younger than me.
Yes, although you might argue that buying a house is not the best financial decision, but at least not if you want to live in it yourself. But I always wanted to have a house, so that's out of it.
That's true. But you at least, you went the other way, and then yep.
Yeah. So I started putting money aside for retirement in my mid-20s, and I have like a rate of 250 now, but that's already a very good retirement. So yeah, it's definitely cheaper to start early.
For sure. And then the other myth, like, oh God, I don't know, I don't understand how to invest. Hey, yeah, don't we all? I mean, it's not something you learn at school, or not necessarily that your parents tell you that, or not even your father would probably tell you much, because guys normally like to do it by themselves. Nobody really talks about it. Then you sit there in front of the internet, and then you're confused, and everybody says, no, don't do it, and oh my God, insurance, and blah, blah, blah. Hey, there are simple ways to learn it. Sorry, I have to say that, come to us, This is really the, I always say, Rentier and Birkenstock team. If anybody understands that. You have like your knitted pullover, and then we sit there like, and just totally chilled out. Like, we're not trying to pull you over or sell you something. We really like to understand what you're going through, where you want to go, and then, take it from there. And so you get also your personalized plan, and so on. Barista, there we go, drinking coffee. Retire from your full-time job and take part, like a part-time job to supply or supplement your retirement life. I think this is gonna be me because I kind of like the barista lifestyle. It's like you save enough money for retirement, and then you still have the flexibility if you want to continue working to work a little bit in retirement, to have like this nice work-life balance, kind of like retirement being busy balance basically. And you can do stuff that is really fun for you. And for example, like it's just to meet some expenses, but the rest is covered through your savings plan that you have actually already accumulated early on. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
Marina?
I'm just going to say it in other words because I don't know if everyone understood that. Like Barista Fire is basically about putting money aside, as much as you need for your basic needs to be covered. And for everything that comes on top of that, you have this part-time job. So whenever you want to go on a big vacation or, I don't know, buy something expensive, then you like work a couple of weeks, have the money for that. And so this is basically what Barista Fire is.
And I think a lot of people are doing that already. At least in the coaching area where I have worked, I met some people that are already in retirement, and they just like to coach because we work, for example, with 7th graders and doing stuff like this. And there were some of them that were like, yeah, well, I like to do that once a week or two. I meet young people. I feel like I'm contributing still to doing something social, and I like doing that. So it's like a nice to have thingy. So that's for people basically that want to have a work-life balance and a financial security with the freedom of from the full-time grind, and then just to have some structure and income, more or less. So your vision, your plan, exactly, right? Because it needs to be individual. No saving plan is the same. As we like to say also, only because your best friend is doing that doesn't mean that it suits you. You have different needs, you have different wants, and that's why your retirement plan is really to fit into your lifestyle and your goals that you want to achieve in life, or where you want to even settle. Do you want to really stay here in Germany, or do you want to sit on an island somewhere and at the beach, So we are there to help you to plan for the future. Lots of women that we know also, they said like, oh wow, I like my job, but actually I want to do something on my own. So they actually start their own business, more or less like we also did, right? Others are they want to spend more time with family because that's important to them. So they go back to their home country and they just want to be there with everybody together. So we need, of course, and especially Verena, to look into that. How can we help you to achieve that in the best way possible? And your needs evolve and change, so does your plan. And so that is something we can always like adjust, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it speaks for itself. We have over 45 countries or something right now.
Yeah, so our clients come from over 45 countries right now. Still counting.
And that makes us proud as well, because we've got like everybody covered, kind of like. It's like cool. Verena has also in the office like a little a wooden map where she puts her bottles, pops in. What do you call these? Pom-poms.
I don't know.
It's kind of like cool to see like where the women come from that invest with us. Yes, together we have over 28 years of experience in both things. So there we are just filming. We're gonna work on a money boost masterclass, or we're working on it, and then we're gonna distribute that. So then you can also have like a platform where you can learn about finances. Of course that we are licensed, no? And we also do teamwork with people like in investment and property care, right? In property investing this way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As well as healthcare and whatsoever different advisors where your needs are. Yes, comprehensive planning, blah, 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 blah. I'm always repeating myself. Is there anything that I miss?
Okay. Maybe we should say that, of course, the first call with me is free of charge, right? And then we will figure out what you need, because depending on what you need, it differs, like the licenses differ, and then the means of payment differ. But I will explain all of that in the first call. So no strings attached, and the first call is free.
Exactly. So do your first stop today, because you got this. You can start now. I mean, what's holding you back other than your finger typing press for an appointment? And yeah, so then that's basically, yeah, because your future starts with 5. Yeah. Key takeaways, very important.
We
Achieving.
still have 50 minutes. It's good.
Yeah, okay. I feel like I'm repeating just myself, like, yay, come to us. Come for coffee. Achieving financial independence. Of course, it needs a plan, right? You can't just be like, oh, wake up the next morning, I'm gonna be financial independent. How do I do that? Yeah, maybe today I'm not gonna go shopping, and maybe I'm not gonna have a big holiday. And yeah, that's a very plan. That's a great idea, but you need to write it down. So plan it clearly. Make a plan for your money. Maybe journal a little bit. I'd say at least maybe 2 or 3 weeks to see where your money is actually going. Write also maybe down a list of like, these are your fixed expenses, and what of that is flex? What do you really need, you know? Do you really need, as we like to say, the Netflix and the Disney and the I don't know what account? Are you actually watching that? I just realized that, for example, Disney is only on once a year. Do I really need to pay for that every month something, you know? These are the little things. Or like I said with my coffee, when I realize how much money I spend just for buying coffee to go, maybe I can also just stop doing that. So look at that, and then you can already filter out, okay, actually, I don't need this and this and such. Maybe I can tweak some stuff, and maybe I can take some stuff out. So also be then also mindful how you spend. And also maybe just an idea when you feel really frustrated or annoyed or you're tired or you're bored. I know emotional shopping, and then you sit there and, oh, it's so nice. There we have our little cheap discounters online, blah, blah, blah. Don't click on everything. Put it away. Go for a walk. I don't know. Go to the gym, go swimming, whatever. Meet some friends so that you don't have this trigger on like just ordering stuff that you don't need in the end of the day. And then set aside that money I just said. Also, yeah, the emergency fund. Set some money aside, not just for the long term, but also for the medium. Whatever can happen, you might need an emergency fund, which should be, what did we say, 3 times maybe the money you earn?
It should be at least 3 months of your overall spendings, 3 times of your overall monthly spendings.
Yeah. So for whatever happens, it could be the car that breaks down. It could be that somebody stole your bicycle. I don't know. You know, there's always some nonsense that suddenly happens in the time where you don't need it to happen, and then you're like, oh, great. And also spread your money, right? Put it into different baskets, we like to say, because that reduces the risk. It's like a chair with 4 legs. If one breaks, the chair gets a bit wonky, but it doesn't necessarily fall over. But if you put everything in one basket and that basket goes wrong, let's say you put everything into crypto, it's just going really down south again. Bad idea. So spread it. And then, yes, start investing as soon as possible. Take advantage of the compound interest rate. That is really something that the economy does for you for free. And your money just, it's like a nice plant that you water and take care and put in the right area where it needs sun maybe, or it needs shadow. It will blossom and it will look great and it will really grow nicely. So take that as a visual idea. And then you're closer step by step to financial independence, because it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Not everybody's lucky and wins in lotto.
You have to play first, and that's really money down the drain. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Although everybody on TikTok says manifest.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they're all not millionaires, so I don't know how they're manifesting.
Yeah.
We like to work together. We like to empower women. That is not only just an idea, it's also our mission and our vision, because we stand behind that. We are women. I have a daughter. Christ, I don't want her to have the same challenges when she is in my age or even growing up like I have. So I like to give her already now the knowledge with 9 years how to save money and stuff like this, because that is something that she needs, and she needs to be independent. So we like to empower women of all ages. And therefore, if you want to go towards that sunshine on this nice road, which just reminds me of Sylt. There was a path like this too. When the sun came out, yep. You can only get there if you book a consultation. Right, Verena?
100%. Yeah.
And that's it. If you feel bored, come to Silbersteinstraße 78. We are in Berlin-Neukölln. And actually, you don't have to be bored. We're actually doing something really social. We even have a clothes swap soon. So you can come there, right?
Yeah, let me look up when it is.
Sunday the 23rd, I think.
Yeah, the 23rd of March
Yes.
at 1
1
to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Exactly. There you don't have to spend any money. You just have to go into your wardrobe and see what you don't like anymore. It doesn't fit. Come to us and change it with something fresh, new. Summer is coming.
I have most of my clothes from there. This one, I think, is from there. So that's, yeah. It's very good. It's shopping for free. It checks all the boxes.
Exactly. And if you, anyways, want to know more, we're online. You can look on our website. You can check out Eventbrite every now and then. We also drop some webinars and some workshops. Yeah. And that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it from us. And you did a very good job, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Verena. I'm one of the founders of Frau Future, and our goal is to elevate women to full financial literacy. Together with my co-founder Yvonne, we host company workshops to educate your employees on finances and career satisfaction.
The motivation for me is that in Germany, bureaucracy-wise or language-wise, there's so many barriers to being able to learn and have better knowledge and access of how the systems do work.
Verena was just so accessible and made it so easy for us to engage with this topic. I already got quite practical ways of calculating the different types of investment. I feel like I already have tools to make some decisions about my financial investments, which is wonderful.
Financial literacy is incredibly important to me as an employee, as a co-founder. We're responsible for the growth and the professional development of our team. And I think it's just really important to not just focus on, training people on the skills that they need to get their job done, but taking a holistic perspective or holistic approach.
We are focusing on two important professional fields. Number one, career coaching, and number two, financial advice, as well as well-being through Access Bars treatments. Recognizing the fundamentals and giving your employees valuable insights to moving upwards from good to better and better to best, achieving career success, financial independence, and a healthy mindset.